to license it.
Meep, meep.
Hi everybody, and a warm welcome back to Maple Leaf Matchbox Makeovers. I'm Andrew, and on the bench today is a Corgi Juniors Terex R35 rear dump. It's got worn out blue and silver paint on it, and it looks like it was played with the way I would have if I had had a dump truck as a little boy, hard in the sand pile. It's a Whizzwheels model, as you can see, in case the driver wanted to hit the quarter-mile racetrack, but they're certainly in savable condition, so I'm going to refurbish those and keep them to maintain originality. On my workbench, I use this really great little Stanley vise, and you see it's got a ball joint on it. I leave it at the end of the table, but this is just right for my purposes with the model restoration. You wouldn't want to rebuild your transmission on this thing, but for the Hot Wheels and the Corgis and the Matchboxes, it is just right. So out come the rivets, front and back, and you need to know on this model, you'll see when it comes apart, the posts are really tiny. And when I discovered that, I thought, I'm not even going to try to drill them out and tap them because I'll just blow out a post. So I'll have to come up with another plan at the end when it's time to reassemble these parts. There's no windshield in this one. There's no interior, so it's just 3 pieces and some insects that have taken up habitat in there. And you'll see this one is literally rough around the edges. And dirty, but aren't they all after these many years? It's good heavy casting, which speaks to the quality of the toys when I was a young fellow. There's a plastic suspension in there, and so it's easy to pop out these wheels. And in this case, I put everything in the ultrasonic wash. I don't always do that, but these were extra dirty, and I set it for about 10 minutes and got on with some other jobs while I waited for that to do its work. And I'm satisfied at this point that things come out extra clean, and then there's no worry about handling these with, 30 or sometimes 50 years of dirt on them. And before the paint stripper process, which is just for metal, I'm going to pop off that plastic suspension. It's held on by 2 little pins, and so I get my flat screwdriver under there and out it comes. And I can't quite tell if that was painted or what the finish was on it, but we'll give it a dunk. And I'll just leave things in there for a little while. I'd say about an hour went by, and I'm going to pull these out and see what kind of resistance I get. 0. I always like it when the paint gives me no fight at all. Sometimes you really got to scrub on those things. Not today. original color on the dumpster was silver. And it also slides off just right. And whatever black finish was on the base is no more. So I will take all three of these into the laundry room right beside my hobby bench and give them a good scrubbing with a bristle brush. And this is how they came out. And it's no surprise, there's some residual paint, especially in the casting lines. And that front grille with so much detail. But I expect that, and so we'll get out the wire brushes and the fine steel wool and go to work. I actually think this is one of the most satisfying parts of the hobby for me. I put a little music on my iPad while I'm working, and little by little you see the life come back into these. And even though I'm using hand tools during this lockdown COVID-19 time, my Dremel tool is kaput. And I've got to wait till the stores open up so I can get a replacement for that. But everything came out well. And yes, that is masking tape holding a Band-Aid in place. And don't tell me you've never done that yourself, because I know that you have. And I'm going to take a moment just to clean up after the mess left by that fine steel wool. I'm particular about a clean workstation. And the next step in the process is paint. And we don't want anything blown around, stirred up by the airbrush. In my house, there's not an abundance of space, especially in my hobby room. And so I made a DIY spray booth out of a 60-liter plastic storage tub. And I put a bathroom ventilator in it and a piece of kitchen range hood filter to take the fumes out. And one great purchase is this gooseneck holder for my iPhone to do the filming with. And now you've got a little better sense that between me and the airbrush is a camera reaching over, sometimes doing the work while looking through the camera, but I have fun. If you're enjoying this video, why not give it a thumbs up and look in the bottom right corner of your screen and hit that subscribe button and the notification bell to be aware of new content. As a matter of fact, it's cause for mini celebration here. I just went over 50. It's a brand new channel. It's not the biggest one on YouTube, but I just got started about 5 weeks ago. And love it if you'd become number 53, and we'll watch that grow as more people discover this. All the parts are getting primed up, and now I'm laying on some light gray on top of a white primer. Originally it was silver. There's not a big difference there, but I thought I would change it up. And I'm going for the original blue on the Corgi Juniors, and right about this point I was loving it. And a few moments later, I think I got overzealous and laid it on a little bit too thick, but too dark. And all of a sudden I didn't like the blue, and presto, without filming, I went red. And I have a reason for this change up you'll see at the very end. It's my go-to color. I like to use that, and I use it a lot. While the wheels are getting touched up, often when I'm working on these models, I reminisce childhood memories if it was a toy. And in this case, when I was a college student, I had a summer job at an open pit coal mine in the Rocky Mountains in Alberta, Canada. Not a shaft mine, an open pit, and the go-to truck was a Terex Titan, at that point the largest truck in the world. And these small-scale models don't give you a true sense of how immense these machines really are. So that's my memory on this makeover, and it's a real good one. So we'll give some attention to these tires with the chrome touch-up and a black wash. You know, I didn't want this truck to look brand new. It's a dump truck, after all. So this will keep it original looking, but also like it's been out on a dirt road once or twice. And it's time to put the three basic pieces back together. The dump just slides into a hinge assembly at the back. There's no pin to be installed there. The refurb wheels are back on, and that's the base piece. And remember that I didn't drill out these very tiny, thin posts. I was sure I would do some damage to those, and so what I'm going to resort to today is just some super glue, and this is actually super duper cement glue, and a little drop there, and when it's dried up I can pick it up and give you a little tour. With a Terex Titan logo on the front, I think that sets off the red color. Just needed something. The dumpster's back on, the wheels look pretty good. I did repaint the base black, as you saw, and it did look like a well-worked truck, didn't it? Especially the edges. That's tumbled a few times. And what do you think of that? Brilliant red with a gray dump and a manufacturer's decal on the hood. That's the Terex Corgi Juniors R35 rear dump truck, and that's it for today. It's coffee time.